Now let us take our discussion further to joint probability density function of the continuous random variable. But before then that, I have written for the discrete random variable, which we have already learned in the previous recordings. So if capital X and Y are the discrete random variable, the function f of xy, where the probability is that random variable X will have the value small x, random variable Y will have the value small y, for each pair of values small x and small y within the range capital X and capital Y is called the joint probability distribution function of capital X and Y, right? So you can say that again, your capital X and capital Y now are the continuous random variables. And there is a bivariate function. Of course, this is also a bivariate function. This fxy is defined over xy plane. So I'm changing the definition of discrete random variable towards continuous random variable. And then you write it, this thing, as this pxy, you write as, and it is defined over any region A in the xy plane. So you define it like, so this pxy is belonging to this region. This is the double integral over this region, fxy dx dy. This is what the joint probability density function, joint probability density function for the continuous random variable, right? Now let me write this neatly for you. So you have changed the definition of the random variable towards the continuous variable, of the discrete random variable towards the continuous random variable. So let me just write the definition. So this is the definition for the joint probability density function for the continuous random variable. A bivariate function with the values fxy, these are the probabilities, right? Defined over xy plane is called the joint probability density function of the continuous random variable if and only if this pxy belonging to A double integral fxy dx dy is going to hold, right? Now we will see that what conditions this fxy has to satisfy. So if you remember, we have written one theorem for the discrete random variable. So let us make changes in that theorem so that it could be used for the continuous random variable also. So this was the theorem which we wrote for discrete random variable, in which we said this fxy should be greater than equal to 0, right? Here we will say that fxy should be greater than equal to 0 for this guy. For, of course, your x and y lying between 0 to infinity. And then we said this, that the sum of these probabilities should be equal to 1. So for the continuous case, how do you write this? It is going to be written like minus infinity to infinity, minus infinity to infinity, double integral fxy dx dy equals to 1, right? Dx dy equals to 1, right? So these are the changes you have to make for the continuous random variable. So let me write this neatly for you. So a bivariate function can serve as a joint probability density function of a pair of continuous random variable capital X and capital Y if its values of xy satisfies the condition. The first condition was that this fxy would be greater than equal to 0. This is a normal thing. Your probability has to be greater than equal to 0. For minus infinity, less than x is less than infinity. And minus infinity less than y less than infinity. And second, minus infinity to infinity, integral minus infinity to infinity, fxy dx dy equals to 1. So this double integral should be equal to 1. The same thing which you did for this guy, for the discrete case, where the double summation extends over all possible pairs of x and y in the domain. Oh. Okay. Let us look at one example. So suppose we have given the joint probability density function fxy is 3 by 5, x y plus x, and 0 otherwise. Of two random variables capital X and capital Y. So this is the joint probability density function. Find this pxy, this probability where xy belongs to A, where A is the region, this guy. Where A is the region, capital X, sorry, small xy, 0 is less than x is less than half. One is less than y is less than 2, right? 1 is less than y is less than 2. If you have this kind of a question, you just need to find out the probability. So p 0 is less than x is less than half. So 1 is less than y is less than. So that is going to be, you wrote the integral for y, integral for x, 3 by 5, xy plus x, dx dy. So first of all, you'll integrate with respect to x, right? Holding y constant. So once you do that, you started integrating with respect to x first, holding y constant. So this becomes what? 3 by 5 y into x square by 2 plus, right, 3 by 5. This is x square, na? So it is x cube by 3 dy. Of course, this is lying between 0 to half. This is lying between 0 to half. So I'm sure you can put the definite integral. So once you put in those values, you'll put wherever x is, you'll put half first and then 0. So because when you just put 0, then these values are going to be 0 then. And when you put half, then this is going to come out to be the values. Dy upon 40 plus 1 upon 40. And you just need to integrate this with respect to dy. And once you do that, this comes out to be 3y square upon 40 into 2, that is 80, plus 1 upon 40 into y, that is y upon 40. And you have to put the limits of definite integral 1 to 2. And when you plug in these values, so first of all, find out the value when you put 2 minus find out the value when you put 1 equals to y. So this thing will come out to be 11 by 80, right? This thing will come out to be 11 by 80. So this is what your one example for the continuous random variable, joint probability density function for the continuous random variable. Thank you, Rita.